Welcome to Educate to Illustrate. This is Dan Zimmerman. You've come to the perfect place to level up your drawing skills because learning how to draw is all about education and practice. Go ahead and grab your favorite art supplies, subscribe, and let's go. Today we're going to be learning how to draw the flag of the United States inside its own nation's outline. So to start, all you're going to need is something to draw with, like a marker or a pencil and a white sheet of paper or a whiteboard if you've got one. So we'll start up here on the top left where the state of Washington is, and then we're just gonna kind of work our way down the Pacific coast. Nothing that I draw is like exact, it's just kind of like a general idea. So we're passing down through California right now, and then we're gonna do a little bit of Arizona, New Mexico, and then we're gonna come down here to, the first part of Texas. And like I said, I'm just kind of doing a general idea. Nothing that I draw is exactly what it looks like, but it gets the general idea as long as it's recognizable. So we've got Louisiana here, and Alabama, Mississippi, and then down the Florida coastline and back up. You're going to want to cut in a little bit from Florida when you're coming up here on Georgia, the Carolinas, and up here to kind of like the Virginia area, Maryland and Delaware. It gets a little bit tight up here. I've kind of given myself not as much room as I'd like, but we're up here now, where Maine is, and then down New York, and then we're coming around to a lot of the states like Ohio. Now we're coming up on Michigan. I used to live in Michigan, and they always talked about it looking like a glove. So you kind of got a glove shape there, and then it swoops around for the lake and almost reconnects right up there at the top. And then you'll kind of do some zigzags for the rest of Michigan and then Minnesota. And now that we got Minnesota, we can cut all the way over. And it looks like I need a little bit more space up here where I started, so I'm going to just kind of correct that, fix Washington up there. But that's the general idea. I'm kind of glancing over it. I don't really love what I've done over here in the east. It's looking a little bit sad, so I'm going to kind of correct that. Let's make it just a little bit thinner, a little bit more accurate. And yeah, that looks a little bit better. Okay, now that we've got the country outline of the mainland, we don't want to forget about the two other states that aren't attached to the mainland. We've got Alaska and Hawaii that we need to do. So I'm first gonna just draw the flagpole though, that will attach the nation to, and then that way we can kind of throw Alaska and Hawaii down here in the bottom left corner. So Alaska obviously is going to be a lot bigger than how I'm going to draw it, just because I don't have all the room, but we'll get the general idea. It just has that stretch of islands that come off and go off into the west. And then you've got that tail end down there where you've got Juneau and some of the most popular Alaska cities there. And then I'm just going to have it basically touch the bottom of the United States there. And then the last thing we got to add to this is the islands of Hawaii. So I'm just going to do a stretch of islands right here that just kind of extend out towards Texas. Okay, it's looking pretty good now. So now we can start doing the coloring of the flag. So you're gonna want to grab like some kind of blue marker, blue colored pencil, whatever you've got. And we're gonna start by outlining where the stars are going to be on this flag. So somewhere near the middle of California, you can kind of just make a little line there, and somewhere up on the top around where the Dakotas are. And we're just going to make a square by connecting those two lines that we've made. So this will be the general area where the stars go for the flag. Once you've got that down, then this part is probably the hardest part of the flag, is all the stars. And again, I don't do things like exactly, do it as close as I can. Because I'm using marker and it's not the thinnest marker, you have to make the stars pretty large, and then once we color around it, the stars will shrink up a little bit. I just kind of start up here on the top and I put the stars relatively close together, and they do look pretty big at first. Like I said, once we color around them, they really shrink because you're only going to see the white inside the star. If you can get around 5 or 6 stars on that first row, that's what you're aiming for. I only got 5. They're probably maybe a little bit too big, but that's okay. And then on the next row, you're going to want to put the stars in between the stars of your first row. So every star should have one between the top row stars, just like that. So you should get one more star about on that second row if you can squeeze one in. Like I said, it gets pretty tight, but the more you can put on the flag, the more realistic it will look, or more accurate to the actual flag. I'm not going to be able to fit all 50. I'd probably need to have a little bit finer marker to do that. So if you've got pencil, you might be able to fit them in. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video and just finish up the rest of the stars here. As you can see, it gets a little bit more scrunched down at the bottom. I'm trying to do about 7 rows of stars, and didn't quite have enough room, but didn't space it out as well as I wanted to. But now we're ready to fill in around the stars. So we can just take the same blue marker or colored pencil, whatever you have, and just kind of fill in around the stars. And if you've got marker, you can see once you fill in around the stars, they shrink quite a bit. So that's why we made them as big as we could, and then also put them as close together as we could, because after they're filled in, they will look like they're more spread apart. I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video again, just so we can get past this filling in around the stars, and then I'll tell you what the next step is. Okay, now that we have the blue and the stars filled in, now we're going to kind of map out where we're going to put the stripes. So I'm just kind of marking out where the stripes will go. We need 4 stripes at the point of where the stars are. So I'm just kind of putting a 1, 2, 3, 4 for the 4 red stripes that we need there to fit all 13 red and white stripes. The 5th one will come down here pretty close down to the bottom of the mainland, and then we're gonna get our 6th red stripe. It's just gonna kind of cut across where we put Alaska, and it's gonna come around across Texas as well. I mislabeled that, but this was gonna give us about 13. I'm just counting to make sure we're gonna be able to get the 13 stripes, and we want to end with the color red at the very bottom here, so it'll just barely get the edge of Florida and Texas, and then we'll see a little bit more of it in the state of Alaska. And then, like I said, I misnumbered that should be a 6th red stripe, and then there's 7 total red stripes on an American flag. So now that we've kind of got that mapped out, now we can go ahead and start actually filling in the stripes, and I'm just kind of cutting across the country and filling in as I go. And then just kind of with my eyes guesstimating about where it would come across, and maybe just get a little bit of Maine up there at the top. Then for the second one, again, you're just kind of cutting it across the nation as, filled in and straight as possible. Coming through Michigan, then a little bit of New York here, all the way to the coastline. Trying to make that as filled in as possible. The better and neater you are, the better it will look. If I wanted to spend a little bit more time making those lines a little bit straighter, I probably would, if I want to make this look as good as possible. But just for, learning how to do this, we're just gonna kind of keep going here. But as you can see, it's just the same thing over and over, where we've made our marks for the red stripes. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and kind of speed up the video so you can kind of see where I put my red and white stripes. Yours may land in slightly different spots, and that's okay. Now that we're here at the end, we're just about done. There's just some final touches to put on it. If you did the flagpole, I'm just going to go ahead and fill in the flagpole, make it brown. You can make the flagpole any color you want though. And then after I've filled in the flagpole, if you've got a yellow marker or a yellow color, you can just go ahead and color in the top of the flagpole for the brass or gold knob at the top. And then you've basically done it. So with that, we're just about done here, and you've now learned how to draw the outline of the United States and also the flag at the same time. What country and flag should we do next? Be sure to comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to support more Educate to Illustrate videos. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out my other videos, and I'll see you next time.